Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Jasmine and this is Virtuous Nails by Jazz. So welcome to today's video. This is the second upload. I wanted to get this out before January ended, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, but happy February 1st. Let's go ahead and start by prepping our nails. We're going to prep with by pushing our cuticles back first and then going in with a ball bit or a cuticle bit to remove that extra dead skin on our nail, and then I'm going to go in with my 240 grit sanding band to remove the shine. Now I'm going to trim my cuticles, and this is probably like my favorite step because it makes the nail set look very, oh my goodness, I'm sorry y'all. It makes the nail set look very clean. Now I'm going to go in with this KDS nail glue and I'm going to glue down my tips, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so I have glued down my tips and I'm going to cut them. I decided to keep them pretty short this time around, and then I'm going to pre-shape them. And before I get into application, and probably while I'm doing my application, I want to talk about dip powder and like some of the controversies. I could probably break this into two parts, but personally, with my experience of using dip powder, it's definitely like a learning process. Like, you really have to learn how to work with the dip powder. It is easier to apply, but like, I haven't used acrylic. I've only practiced it maybe like one time in school, but um just like, it's easier because you're just brushing on that base and then you're dipping it in the powder, and then you're creating you're building your shape or whatever, your look. I think it's easier to use sometimes, but it's very finicky. But I wouldn't just say like it it can be controversial, and I know it is in the nail tech community, because a lot of people, for one, the first one is that people say that it's unsanitary. Like, there's like hygiene concerns with it because you have, if you're taking clients and you use dip, like, you have people putting everyone's using the same powder pretty much. But me personally, I'm not going to buy a single container of powder for every client that I have. And I'm not saying that you would have to do that. I'm saying you, as a nail tech, should take the proper precautions, the proper hygiene practices to make sure that there is no cross contamination of anything or anything like that. So you can see me, I'm spraying my nails with alcohol and I'm cleaning them with the nail brush to remove dust, debris, and also clean my fingers, because I know I'm about to be dipping my fingers into the powder and I don't want no germs to get into the powder. So, that is a very crucial step. Um, Proper hygiene, that's very important, when it comes to using dip powder. And so I understand where those nail techs who don't like dip powder are coming from, because it's not even just the hygiene, but it can also be hard to get off, and that can be damaging to your nails, especially if you just like pull them off. And I've done that before. I've just pulled them off. But people also just pull off acrylic sometimes, and so that causes their nails to thin. So since it is still an artificial enhancement, you're bound to damage your nails. You're bound to have thinning, and what else? what else comes with that, cracking, I don't know. But those things are bound to happen when you are dealing with artificial nails if you don't take the proper precautions, especially when it comes to removing them. And dip powder can be really hard to remove. Um, just in my knowledge of working with it and seeing other people work with it. But it's not impossible. Like I went to a nail tech and I got dip nails like all the time, and she removed them and she did it the right way, and so my nails never felt like um brittle or anything. Like we usually did like fills up to like on my fourth visit we would soak them off, and my nails would be fine. But it's all about the way that you do it. You have to make sure you do it properly and make sure you're not getting soak offs too often, because we have to make sure we look at the health of our nails too, because acetone can dry it out. Constantly filing them can thin them out. So that's one thing. I feel like, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of like greenies, or what's the proper word. I can't think of the proper word. I don't know how to say it, but um have I gotten those before? I Yes, I have. And I think you can get greenies with any nail enhancement, like including acrylic. Um I don't know about Gel X, but you know, I feel like really that's just when your nail starts lifting and you put glue underneath it, you're going to just create a what I don't even know what to call it. Just you're creating room for bacteria to get into your nail when and get trapped in your nail when you put glue underneath your nail. So I mean that's with really any nail enhancement. Like don't do that. But those are just some things. If you guys have any other controversial things about dip powder, let me know and we can definitely talk about it and I can give you my opinion. Now, I'm not gonna try to convince you to use dip powder. That's to or go and get dip powder. That's to each their own. But those are just some controversies that I'm aware of when I'm using the dip. So I know these things, but I make sure to take the proper precautions as well. Um so those are my things. And like also if you cut your client or you cut yourself when you're doing your nails, like do not put your finger in the dip powder. Okay? Do the pour over method or something. And also you guys will see in this clip I cut my thumb with the file because I filed a little too hard, and but it wasn't bleeding, and like there wasn't any like pus or lymph that came out, which like thank God, but it definitely hurt. Like it hurt so bad. So but I didn't stop because I didn't see any blood. I just like continued filing and all that good stuff and made sure to get that dust off my nail, and I just went in with like the rest of the steps, like sealing the cuticle and shaping and all that stuff before I finally cleaned my nail, which I probably should have just stopped what I was doing and did that and probably put a band-aid, but I didn't feel like I needed to because it wasn't bleeding, so it was just like a kind of like a paper cut kind of almost, but that thing hurt, y'all, so bad. But I sprayed it with the alcohol and it burned so bad. Like, oh my gosh, that's why you can see me like pausing here because it hurt. But now I'm getting into the polishing, and so I already did the base coat and like the first coat of polish, and so this is me painting on the second coat. But yeah, so back to dip powder, like, if you guys have any like controversies, put them in the comments and we can definitely talk about them on this channel because I use dip powder. So let me know your thoughts on the dip, and we're just gonna get into this design. So for this design, I needed blooming gel, and I don't think I've really used blooming gel like or done the blooming flowers. I have used blooming gel, but I've never done like the blooming gel flowers. So it took me about 3 tries to get it how I wanted it. Because I think I needed to make sure I had enough polish on my dotting tool. But first, I started off with putting a very thin layer of blooming gel onto my nail, and I used my dotting tool, I think it's kind of like a medium. It's not too small, but you want to make sure that you have like a good bit of polish on there when you're doing your dots. Not like a very thin, but just a thick amount of polish when you're doing it. Because that's what's gonna really get your flower to be very pigmented and like spread out, I guess. And just also let the blooming gel do its work. That's kind of what I had to do as I did this. Yes, but I did redo it like 3 times. I didn't show the third time that I redid it, but um it came out how I wanted after 3 times. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to redo it. And you have to be patient, but I did that and it came out cute. So and now I'm going in with a thin layer on my pinky finger to create the aura nail effect. I've seen some people do this because I don't have an airbrush machine, so I had to do that, and I just kind of made like a circle, almost like went back and forth to make a circle kind of oval on the nail with the dotting tool and let it just spread out and do what it does. And when it got to how I wanted it to be, I put that in the lamp. And now I'm going in to create my French tip. I pulled out like 2 other colors I thought I was going to use, but I ended up just using the same brown for all across my whole hand. And I did a French tip on my ring finger, my index, and also my thumb. After letting those cure, I'm gonna go in with my black line art color and I'm gonna use my dotting tool to create that. I guess you would call it like a croc print. I'm not sure, but those little dots on the French tip, I used the dotting tool to create it. And kind of just went back and forth. It's not just dots. You kind of have to like move your tool kind of back and forth to create it. But that was really easy to do. And unfortunately, I end up losing the clip of me doing the gold chrome and just adding the little beads to my nails, which you'll see here in a second, which sucks, y'all. But these came out super cute, and I'm glad I added the little gold because the gold beads, because it needed that extra touch. It came out super cute though. Like, I love the brown in this set, and the gold, I was a little iffy about the pinky, but I think it came out cute. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.